I'm Young Buzz. Welcome back to the channel where we break down everything that's buzzing in the K-pop world, from new releases and record-breaking moments to the stories behind the artists shaping the scene. Today we've got something seriously exciting to talk about, because one of the fastest rising boy groups in K-pop has just hit another massive milestone. Boynextdoor has officially become a million seller for the third consecutive time. Yes, you heard that right. 3 times in a row. And honestly, that says a lot about how powerful their momentum is right now. So here's the headline. Boynextdoor recorded over 1,005,000 copies sold for their 5th mini-album The Action in just 5 days after release. That's an insane number, especially for a group that debuted only about a year and a half ago. This makes The Action their 3rd consecutive million-selling album after 1999 and No Genre. I don't know about you, but that's a pretty strong statement. Boynextdoor isn't just another rookie group. They're solidifying their place as one of the defining acts of K-pop's next generation. Now, let's talk about this achievement in context. Becoming a million seller is already something that not every K-pop group can claim, even among big names. Doing it 3 times in a row, and this early in your career, that's something else. It shows not only a strong fan base, but also growing public recognition. And when you add in the fact that all the members participated in the songwriting and production for this new album, it really highlights their artistry and authenticity. Not just performing songs given to them, they're creating music that represents who they are and what they want to say. Let's break down some of the chart numbers too. Their title track, Hollywood Action, entered the Melon chart at number 36 and jumped up to number 21 within just a few days. That's a significant climb for a group that's still building mainstream recognition. It even reached number 2 on the Melon Top 100, which is the highest they've ever been. It also ranked 5th on Apple Music's Top 100 in Korea and 11th on Spotify's Daily Top Songs. And if that's not enough, they're getting traction overseas too. 9th on China's QQ Music New Releases chart, 6th on Japan's Line Music chart. This is the kind of cross-border success that proves Boynextdoor is catching global attention. Now here's where I want to dive in a bit deeper. What makes Boynextdoor's success so interesting to me is that they're not following the typical K-pop formula. Sure, they're part of HYBE's massive ecosystem, but their sound, concept, and energy feel more down to earth. Their name, Boynextdoor, says it all. They're meant to feel relatable, like the guys you could actually hang out with. And yet, behind that approachable image, there's this fierce drive to grow and evolve as musicians. The Action perfectly captures that. It's like they're saying, we're not just here to exist. We're here to move, to act, to make something happen. I've listened to the album, and honestly, it's impressive how cohesive it feels. Each song has its own character, but they all tie together under that theme of youthful ambition and emotional honesty. Hollywood Action is bold and high energy. It's got that cinematic vibe that makes you feel like you're in a coming-of-age movie. Then there's Love in Paris, which is a little more emotional and introspective, showing their softer side. Songs like Jam and Bathroom bring this quirky, youthful energy that reminds me of why I fell in love with K-pop in the first place. It's fun, creative, and full of personality. But what really stands out is that the members had a hand in all of it. That's something fans really appreciate these days. When you know your favorite idols are writing their own lyrics or contributing to production, it makes the music feel more personal. It's like you're hearing their real thoughts and emotions, not just something crafted by a company. Boynextdoor is leaning into that authenticity, and it's paying off. Let's talk about how rare that is for a group this new. Usually, in the early years, idols are still finding their sound and don't have much control over production. But Boynextdoor jumped into that creative space right away. It's a risky move because not every song is guaranteed to be a hit, but it's also what sets them apart. It's like they're building a long-term artistic identity instead of chasing temporary trends. Now, I want to throw this question to you. Do you think that's part of why Boynextdoor is connecting so strongly with fans? Is it the music itself, their authenticity, or the fact that they bring a fresh energy to K-pop's next generation? I think it's a mix of all three. They've got that relatable vibe that Gen Z fans love, but they're also ambitious in a way that makes you root for them. You can tell they want to grow, not just get famous, but actually become better artists. Let's also take a second to appreciate their performance skills. Every stage they've done for Hollywood Action has been so tight, full of confidence, and fun to watch. There's a kind of raw energy there that reminds me of early day 17 or even TXT. You can see they're still learning, but they're also pushing themselves to improve with every comeback. That hunger is what makes them stand out. And speaking of standing out, Boynextdoor's concept is actually refreshing in a K-pop landscape full of high fantasy and heavy lore. While other groups are going for dark, cinematic universes or complex storylines, Boynextdoor feels human. Their lyrics talk about crushes, awkward moments, heartbreak, confidence, real things that people their age experience. It's like they've become the soundtrack for youth in the modern K-pop era. That's powerful in its own way. I also think the action as a title is symbolic. It feels like they're making a statement. No more waiting around, no more hesitation. Just act, move forward, and take charge of your path. It's confident, and it fits the moment they're in. They're not rookies anymore. They're solidifying their spot in the industry. And I have to say, the production quality of this album is next level. You can hear how much effort went into every track. The layering, the vocals, the experimentation with styles. It's polished, but not overproduced. You can still feel the emotion behind it, and that's what keeps listeners coming back. It's not just catchy, it's meaningful. So here's another question for you all. Where do you think Boynextdoor stands in this new wave of 4th and 5th gen boy groups? Are they underrated, or are they finally starting to get the recognition they deserve? Because honestly, hitting 1 million sales 3 times in a row isn't just good, it's record-worthy. It means they've built a loyal fan base, not just casual listeners. That's a foundation that can carry them for years. Let's also talk a bit about their global appeal. The fact that they're charting not only in Korea, but also in Japan and China shows that they're reaching different markets early on. That's something that usually takes time for newer groups. Boynextdoor seems to have figured out how to balance that local and international connection from the start. And that's a big part of what makes a group last long-term in the K-pop scene today. They'll also be performing at the Incheon K-pop concert this week, right after their appearance on MBC's Show Music Core. That means fans will get to see more of their live performances, which, honestly, is where they shine the most. If you've ever watched Boynextdoor live, you know they give everything on stage. Their charisma is real, and their teamwork feels natural. I've seen some people comparing them to early-day BTS or 17 because of their involvement in music making and the way they're growing from the inside out. And I kind of see it. There's a similar passion there. That feeling of wanting to express themselves honestly through music, rather than just follow what's trending. If they keep this up, Boynextdoor might be on their way to becoming one of those groups that define a generation, not just in sales, but in identity. You know, I think one reason fans are rooting so hard for Boynextdoor is because their success feels earned. Nothing about them feels manufactured. Every album feels like a step forward, and each comeback feels like a story unfolding. From Serenade to 1999, No Genre, and now The Action, you can trace their growth both musically and emotionally. It's like watching your favorite underdog slowly rise to the top. And now, with this 3rd million seller, it feels like the payoff moment we've all been waiting for. But even with all these wins, they still have that humble energy. In interviews, they talk about wanting to improve, to connect more with fans, and to keep learning. That attitude is going to take them far. Because in K-pop, talent gets you noticed, but sincerity keeps you remembered. So here's my take. Boynextdoor's triple million seller streak isn't just about numbers. It's about momentum. It's about proving that they're not a one-hit wonder or a lucky debut group. They've got staying power, they're growing fast, and they're doing it their own way. That's something we don't see every day. And now, I want to know what you think. Have you listened to The Action yet? What's your favorite song from the album? Do you think Boynextdoor is on their way to becoming one of the next big boy groups in K-pop? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So make sure to drop your opinions in the comments. You know, I always love chatting with you guys there. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to Anyang Buzz for more deep dives like this. Not just K-pop news, but real conversations about what's happening behind the music, the artists, and the fandoms that make it all possible. Until next time, this is Anyang Buzz, where K-pop meets conversation.